and let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. It's been a long time, but we back. And we got some interesting stuff for y'all today.
We
So
sure
first,
enough
let's start.
do.
Right, let's start with intros, as always. And so I'm here with...
Sensei Dre, Sensei of Fitness, and a whole bunch of other things you never heard of.
That's right, 36 chambers. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Never know which chamber you might pull something out of. You know what I mean? You might just be like, look, bow, you weren't even ready for that right
exactly.
there. You know what I'm saying?
All the chambers, all of them.
You know what I mean? All right?
Yeah.
And I am JD, a.k.a. He Who Pods. So, start off with our grub. So, I've been making more smoothies and smoothie bowls at home as I attempt to make more meals at home. So, this smoothie bowl, which is on the screen, it has cherries, blackberries, blueberries, pineapple, old-fashioned oats, baby spinach, and banana. And as you can see on top, there's strawberries, peanut butter, and granola.
Oof. Oh yeah, that's gonna keep you full right there.
Right. So when I make my stuff at home, I find that a lot of times when you go to like a smoothie place, they got like 3 ingredients in their smoothies, maybe 4, but I know I'm home and I'm taking the time to make this, so I try to really pack it in. And also remember, or if you're new here, maybe you don't know, but when I make a smoothie or a smoothie bowl, I like to pack it in with a lot of fruits because this is how I'm doing my pack, quote unquote, of intaking all my fruits for the day. So that's why you see a lot of fruits in there. But I always try to throw in either something that's not so sweet, like a green apple, or something that's on the bitter side, or spinach to kind of balance things out.
Yeah.
So that was a smoothie bowl I made the other day.
Yeah,
And yeah, you're absolutely right. Definitely kept me full for a while. I find that after a smoothie or a smoothie bowl, I'm good for a few hours. I don't need to eat again for a while. And if I'm doing something like eating in a short time period, whatever I eat next, I find I don't need a ton of, right? Like if I say I'm going to have a smoothie bowl and in 2 hours have, I don't know, pasta and a salad. That pasta and salad doesn't need to be 2-3 I don't need to keep going back for seconds.
Right.
I find that usually after a plate, I'm probably fine. And then that probably be it for the day. Maybe something light after, but yeah, definitely keeps me full, and I don't need much more after that. And I find that it's a good way, like I said, of taking in my fruits for the day, because I've had 4 or 5 fruits, 6 fruits. There you go. I'm good. I've had all the fruits I need, more than the amount of fruits I need for the day.
Oh yeah,
So,
man. That's what's up. Yeah, you definitely getting your micronutrients in through all those different types of fruits, all your flavonoids and all that good shit. And then and you're right, when you make it yourself, well, what I should say is when you go to any smoothie place, if you did want to add all that stuff you got in there, that's
going to cost
way more extra charges, right? So it might come with 3, but they'll tell you can make it any way you want. So you'll be like, well, then add this, and add this, and then they like $18.
Right, like, exactly. And that depends where you go. Like, there's a lot of places now in the city that are selling smoothie bowls because they've gotten so popular. But now they're starting off at like $15, and I'm like, $15? Nah, kid, not to start.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
nah,
right. So yeah, you always do better off making it at home. But let me ask you: so when you make your smoothie bowls, I know you've been making them for a while. How long does it take you to do the whole thing, set up everything?
5-10 minutes. It's not long.
Look at that. See,
because what I do is, and now we're getting really into the secret sauce. What I do is a lot of my fruit. Listen, I don't mind. That's what we got the pod for. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind giving y'all secret sauce.
It's being revealed.
We tell them the sauce. You know what I'm saying? What I do is I cheat code, right? A lot of my fruits are frozen. So there's nothing to peel or chop up. I just grab them out the freezer and load them up. You know what I mean? I might have to, like, some of them I like I don't do all of the fruit that way, but it reduces my prep time because most of it is just grab a handful and throw it in.
No, that's what's up, because I know when you do it like that, then you need less ice or sometimes even no ice.
I don't even use ice. Yeah.
A lot of people use ice, to get a certain consistency. Yeah. But if you're using frozen fruit, like you just said, you done skip 3 steps. So now, yeah, you can make it go quick. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I just monitor how much water I put. I don't usually use like almond milk. I know a lot of people use almond milk. I usually use water, but I just add like a little bit of it at a time of the water to make it the consistency I want. Or let's say you were coming over like, yo, make me a smoothie bowl if you don't mind. I'd be like, oh yeah, come through. But then I would let you know either I could use almond milk or whole milk, whatever, or I could use water. And then depending what you want, we would base it, like we would keep, blend a little bit. Here, take a look. This is what it looked like. So like when I make them for my daughter, that's what I do. I don't use any milk. I use water, but then I'll blend a little bit. I'll be like, all right, come here, check it out. And I'll put a spoon in and be like, all right, you wanted this consistency, and, shake it off the spoon. And sometimes she wants it, looser. Sometimes she wants it thicker. And so I'm like, all right, cool.
Got you.
So, but that is the only part that probably takes some time is monitoring because I don't use milk.
But you just doing that in case, like you said, somebody else comes, but you already know the consistency you want. So when you doing it for you, it's much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. Which also it depends on the fruits you use, right? Because different fruits have a different amount of water, right? Like they have like more of a water base.
Right.
So when you blend them, it's going to make the smoothie looser. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So it depends on what you do, but it depends on what you're putting in it rather. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's say I put something in like watermelon. I know watermelon is basically water.
Right.
If I had watermelon in it, I probably wouldn't even add water on purpose.
So it matters. Yeah.
Because there's so much that's going to come out of that. It's basically the water.
That is the water. Right.
Right.
Yeah, the melon is the water. Got you. All right.
Right. Yeah. So same thing. If I use oranges, I'm probably not adding much water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I would just chop up the oranges and throw them right in.
Yeah.
And then that's it. So yeah, that's my hack. This is super quick, honestly. The part that takes the longest is probably waiting for certain things to thaw out so I could put them on top. Like those strawberries were frozen. I had to give them a few minutes while I did the blending to kind of thaw out a little bit so I'm not biting straight into a frozen berry.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, I just let it thaw out while I'm blending. So it don't take too much time. Yeah, they're quick.
While you're saving like 90% on what you would have spent if you would, went to a smoothie.
Yeah, because you buy the stuff yourself. Even if you say, man, I spent, let's just make believe $30.
Right.
You say, man, I bought $30. Yeah, but you're going to make 5 or 6 smoothies or smoothie bowls with the $30 you spent.
Right. So you even
$40. Let's say you spent $40, but you made 5 smoothies. That still comes out to $8-9 a smoothie.
Right.
Still less than what you would have put, less than you would have spent if you went to the smoothie place at $10 or $12 a pop. And then, like you said, hey, can you add this? Can you add that? Can you add this? Is it possible you could sprinkle in some honey for me? All that shit is a charge.
They're like, yeah, no problem.
Right. Yeah, whatever you want.
Anything else?
What else? You want spironolactone? We got spironolactone with that too.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Vegan protein? We got that right here.
You want a mixture of vegan protein and whey protein? Fine. Yeah.
Right.
$38.
Right. Exactly. So that was one. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I mean, and clearly we're joking, right? For listeners, clearly we're joking. Not $38, but you could easily have a $15 to $20 drink or smoothie bowl. I mean, again, there are places that they start out at $15 for a smoothie bowl. So
definitely
that easily becomes a $20 smoothie bowl. So yeah, you use it and you spend it, and now you've been using it over the course of a week or a couple months. Maybe you don't want a smoothie every day.
Right.
Maybe you took a couple of weeks to use that stuff. Okay, cool. Well, then you've had smoothie bowls for a couple of weeks off that $40.
No doubt.
So yeah, definitely spending way less. And I like making it at home because then, like you said, you can make it the consistency you want. If you have it and you like, let's say you made, like if I made you a smoothie, he was like, can you make this a little sweeter? At the smoothie spot, you can't do that. You can't taste it at the smoothie spot and be like, nah, can you throw some more blueberries in this? They're going to be like, oh, you want us to re-blend it? That's going to be $5 more.
Yeah, and then not only that, whatever extra they have, they don't just up and give it to you. They throw that in the garbage.
They toss it.
rinse
It's
it out,
awesome.
and go for the next person. You know what I mean? So you're talking about, even if you did say, yeah, it's anywhere between $5 to $8 if you make it at home, just to say ballpark. But you're getting way more smoothie and way more ingredients for that price. So yeah.
Like I said, you can make it however you want. If you want it to be sweeter or more tart or looser or thicker, you control all of that.
Right.
So you have more control over what you're consuming, which I think is always a good thing.
No doubt.
So enough of that. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Time to have some wild time.
Speaking of control, what you can control and what you can't control,
and what you can't control. Right.
Let's get into that.
Let me get closer. Hold on. Let me get closer on this. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into control. Control. Janet Jackson said it in the 80s.
That's right.
So yeah, I wanted to bring up something because we've been doing this show for a long time, and like many shows, this show started out in the
pandemic.
During the pandemic. You know, I don't know what you can and cannot say these days. I'm so like,
you say pandemic. I think today you can say everything.
We're flagging it, but anyway, so yeah, it started in the pandemic, and we've had, especially in the beginning of this show, we talked about the pandemic and COVID and everything else.
The COVIDity.
And the COVIDity of things.
But Dre's word. If you new here, that's Dre's word, the COVIDity.
You know what I mean? But one thing you and I always had, and we always kind of put out there, is a healthy sort of doubt, if you will. You know what I mean? Like not to say that anything is wrong with vaccines or wrong with the vaccine, but just to be like, well, wait a second,
right.
When it started, just to rewrap, when it started, when there was no vaccine, there was really good information. There were people talking about vitamin D and exercise and strengthening your immune system.
Zinc.
Yeah. Like it was all these videos on, 15 ways to strengthen your immune system naturally. And you had all these like things that you can do and vitamins that you can take. And all that stuff was true. Right. All that stuff was true. And we were both like, yeah, those are good ideas. This is what D3 could do, et cetera, et cetera. Then the vaccine came out and there was no more talk of any of those natural things.
In fact, those things were often being flagged.
Yes. You couldn't really even say that. Like you couldn't say it anymore. Not to say that it was wrong, but that wasn't the spiel they wanted people to say. They wanted everyone to just take the vaccine, no matter what. And that's where the word control is because it was like, like, I don't have any choice. Like choice is not a thing anymore. I thought this was America. No, you don't have a choice.
Then it really got gangster. In case you were somewhere sleeping and didn't notice, then jobs start coming out and was like, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you can no longer work here.
Yeah, that was the catch-22. It's like, oh, no, we're not going to force you to take it. But if you want to eat, then you're going to have to take.
You want to keep this job.
Right. You want to be homeless and not have food? Or do you want to take the vaccine?
Right.
And so people, much like yourself, was in a corner and was like, well, if you're going, I don't want to lose my job. So I guess I'm forced to take it. So there is no choice. You're making me do this. People were doing it in protest, and a lot of people also lost their jobs. Let's keep it real. Like some people were so adamant, like, nope, I'm not taking it. And they were like, well, today's your last day, period. And I mean, especially people like nurses and stuff, man, like they just was like, wow, I was here when we didn't have a vaccine, working 50, 60 hours a week, trying to help people. And now you're going to do this to me? Yeah, we're going to do that to you. We don't care.
I quit.
But in terms of people who were like skeptics, like you and myself, we weren't the only ones. There were millions, and there's still millions of people who are really skeptical. And some of these people who were skeptical, they try to make the people who were skeptical seem like they were crazy, right? Because there's always crazy people. There's always crazy people who just say, you could take horse pills and you could spray roach spray. I don't know. They were just like coming up with stuff to just, but put those people to the side. There were actually like real scientists, smart people, academic people who were just like, no, I have my doubts, and here's scientifically why. And those people were even shut down. Like
Right.
their pages shut down. You used to be on YouTube.
Yep.
You used to have, 2 million followers, but nope, we don't care. And it's
Right.
but wait a minute, but this is what I do. You know what I mean? Like I study these. I've been studying this for 20 years. I'm
Right.
not just some run-of-the-mill person. You know what I'm saying? Like they study what viruses do and how viruses work, and they had problems with it, with the vaccine, but
Yep.
they couldn't be heard.
Right.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because lately, I want to say about maybe a couple of months ago, there was another Surgeon General. This man is the Surgeon General of Florida, and he has his I want to say doubts on the vaccine, and so much so that he says like it could be potentially dangerous. You know what I mean? And what I wanted to do was have you and have our listeners and people who watch us take a look at this piece on why he's saying what he's saying, and then maybe we can talk about some of the things he's saying. And I'm not saying what he's saying is the gospel. I'm just saying like I think it's interesting that people whose voices you really don't hear, and why you don't really hear them, even though it makes medical or science sense. Because remember what everybody was saying, trust the science, trust the science. Well, here's a scientist saying, I don't think that this science is right. So do you trust the science or do you not trust the science?
Right.
Florida's Surgeon General is calling into question the safety of the mRNA COVID vaccine. Dr. Joseph Ladapo is calling for a stop to the use of the vaccine, but federal officials disagree with him. News Channel 8's Melissa Marino has the story from Tampa.
This is a copy of the letter that Dr. Joseph Ladapo sent to the FDA saying he has concerns about the safety of the vaccine, and he's now recommending against it. Now, this goes against what the FDA and other local vaccine experts are saying. They say that advice could be dangerous. In an unprecedented move, Florida's Surgeon General calling to halt the use of the mRNA COVID vaccine, going against the FDA.
We continue to live in a world where the CDC and the FDA, when it comes to COVID at least, are just beating their own path in a direction that is inexplicable in terms of thinking about data and thinking about common sense.
Dr. Joseph Ladapo spoke on the issue a few months ago, and December 6th sent this letter to the FDA, citing safety concerns and a case study that claims mRNA could cause cancer if a sequence of events happen. Dr. Thomas Unash with USF Center for Global Health Research says that's highly unlikely.
1 in several hundred billion that this would actually occur.
The FDA sent this letter in response to Dr. Ladapo, saying the FDA is confident in the quality, safety, and effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines, also responding to each of the Surgeon General's questions about the vaccine safety. Dr. Ladapo also saying there hasn't been enough clinical trials.
Worldwide, several billion people who have gotten mRNA vaccines. So to say that we don't have the data, in fact, we do have the data.
Dr. Unash worries Dr. Ladapo's stance could be dangerous.
Are there going to be more people who aren't going to get vaccinated? And as a result, is particularly among the at-risk groups, there are going to be people who don't get vaccinated, and then there are people who are going to end up hospitalized and die from the infection.
Ladapo would need federal approval to stop distribution of the vaccine in Florida, something that for now is unlikely to happen.
And I wanted to show that one because I feel like I wanted to give a balanced, right? I didn't want to just...
No, and I was just about to say that, yeah.
One-sided or whatever. But tell me how you feel. Tell me how you're
yeah, so reaction. I think... Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that, we have discussed this whole forced thing, right? We have said here before, people should have a choice. And that's still where I'm at with it, right? My thing is, I think the mistake was the forcing of this thing on people. If somebody wanted to get it and they got it, I have no issue with that. I never have. You feel what I'm saying? If you feel like,
sure.
I'm doing what I think I need to do for me and my family. I'm never going to argue with those people. You feel what I'm saying? If you're listening to this and that's why you got the vaccine, I don't have any issue with that. You should have a choice. This is America. My problem has always been the flip side. When they came and said, you have to take this to keep your job. You have to have this to enter certain places. You have to have this to come have dinner. That's when it became a little weird for me, because now in the country of freedom, we're forcing people to do things. And that is why I have always had an issue. And that's why I don't have any problem with cats getting it through the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, word. Fake COVID cards? Yeah, I'll take 3 of those. Thanks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I know exactly.
Got no problem with that. Right. No problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And why? Because you forcing people. And when things are forced, that's when I have to call things into question for real. Because now, this is, in the words of Cat Williams, it was no longer just my spider sense tingling. Now it was a full alarm blaze.
Right.
In the words of Cat Williams. So that's what I have always taken issue with, not the fact that we are saying, hey, this could be helpful or this might be helpful. You probably should consider this. You might want to consider this. I don't have a problem with any of that. The problem comes for me when it becomes mandatory, right? And that has always been one of the problems for me. The other problem was, and this is where this is going to sound weird to some people, but once it became free for everyone, when you had insurance or no insurance, that's when I said, this is really weird. This is really weird, because there's tons of things you can't get if you don't have insurance. Tons of things you can't get without insurance. And like you just put up the symbol, that's what I'm about to say next. If you don't have insurance and you want it, it's going to be $877, please. Thank you.
Yes.
So that was the other thing for me. So now, saying that, hey, it could possibly cause this issues, it could possibly cause that issues, that's not surprising to me. Saying we don't have enough data, I think is interesting, because we also said that, right? We said way back, phase 3 of clinical trials was us. It was the United States population. That's who it was. That was phase 3 of clinical trials. There were no phase 3 of clinical trials, where normally there's 3 phases of clinical trials. And if it passes all 3, then you would talk about mass distribution. Then you would speak about giving it to the public. That's not what happened. It was 2 phases. And then it was like, all right, give that shit out. So we are phase 3, which is why the guy arguing for the vaccine said, no, plenty of people around the world have gotten it. So there is data. Right. Exactly. So you have confirmed what we said years ago at this point, which is that we were phase 3 and we would be used as the data. Thank you for that confirmation. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm laughing because it's tragic. It's not even funny, but it's horribly tragic. But that's all I really can do, because if it would be either laughing or crying right here, right now, because that's how messed up it is. But so getting back to what I was saying, it's like you got virologist A saying one thing and you got virologist B saying something else. And the only thing I was saying, you were saying, is like, let people do their own research and come to their own conclusions.
That's all.
That's all. But it didn't turn into that. And then when you start following the money and you realize, okay, the CEOs and everybody else of Moderna and Merck and all these other places, they're buying big ass yachts now. And anytime you got a financial incentive on something, you got to look twice at it. You have to. So we know that the government and these pharmaceutical companies are in bed together.
Absolutely.
And they were making, and still are making, hand over fist. And this,
right.
And so are you saying this because you really want me to be healthy, or are you saying this because you're profit driven? And in a country called America of capitalism, we know things are usually more profit driven than they are a real concern about the people. So that's what I'm same thing like you're saying. That's what kind of drove my kind of spidey sense. It's like, wow, if you start looking at the money here, it seems like there's a lot of people who can make tons and tons of money if tons and tons of people take this.
Of course.
And they see it as a threat when people don't take it, or even just present different evidence or some kind of doubt, you know. Now, this Surgeon General in Florida, you know, he wrote this paper not too long ago. This is December 2023. We just started, you know, 2024. You know, I mean,
Right.
we've been that far into it. So he wrote this, you know, a while ago, and was basically like, y'all not really answering my questions. Only until it got into the news did they say, okay, well, maybe we'll take some of the things that he's saying and try to answer it, you know. But he basically came off and said, hey, the way this thing is made, it's a lot of like human strands of DNA. And because there's so many human strands of DNA, it might mix with your DNA and cause an adverse effect, possibly cancer. I think that's something to talk about, you know, because I've seen, and we know everything started off anecdotal, right? Anecdotal just means your personal experience is my personal experience, but everything starts that way. So I know a lot of people who took the vaccine because of all the reasons we stated. You know, they feel like it's better for them. They want to be, you know, safe. They got parents at home that are older, or grandparents, and they don't want to, you know, put them in any sort of risk. So they took the vaccine. And wherever they took the vaccine at, that area, I've seen a few people have like these big bullish, like it's like a bump or something inside, and it never went away. And they're like, yo, I'm not taking this stuff no more. What happened there? Right? And, you know, sometimes they'll have like a little bit of pain. This is not just one person. This is a few people who I know that at the injection site has some sort of adverse thing happen. And when they bring it to the doctor, right, and say, hey, doc, you know, I took the vaccine and the injection site, I'm having this like adverse effect. Do you know what that is? You know what the doctors say? No, we don't know. We just don't know. We don't know at this time. It's not a lot of evidence, not a lot of data. So right now it doesn't look like it's, you know, it's not causing you any pain or whatever. So, you know, we'll just monitor it.
Right.
Now that's kind of scary. You just got this thing that wasn't there before. Now it's there. Now it's a permanent part of you on some alien joint. You know what I mean? Just like living there. Whatever it's doing, it's just living with you now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going to happen in 20 years or whatever. I don't even know what it's doing. It's just there. Right. And I do know in terms of, you know, and I'm not a doctor or virologist or anything like that. I know a little bit about the body. I do know that when the body sees something as a threat, the white blood cells will attack it and just keep it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to hold, I don't know what you are, but I know you have nothing good to add to this unit we call the human body. And so they'll just hold it right there. And that could be what's happening, where it's just like keeping this thing right here because I don't know, who are you? You know what I mean? So I keep it at bay, you know? Right. So if the human body starts seeing this thing as a threat, then that's also something you got to kind of look at. Why is the body looking at it like that? You know, what is actually in it? And that was another thing people were saying, that we don't know exactly what's in it. It's all these different strands of all these different things. No one can sit there and tell you, can you tell me exactly what's inside that shot? No one knows. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really the scary part about it. And that's why to this day, I'm still like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I like the old fashioned stuff. You know, I like to build up my immune system. I'll take my vitamin D3s. I'll take my B vitamins and all the things y'all was saying in the beginning. I'll go out and exercise, ride my bike and do cardio and do all these good things to build up my immune system and, you know, roll the dice that way. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Listen, I got no problem with information. I have no problem with presenting data. You're not going to hear too many arguments from me on that side. My problem has always been, like we said years ago at this point, and I will still reiterate, when it comes to forcing things on people. And yes, we have all seen the senators, the CEOs, the stock people all make a ton of money off of all of this. It was so big, and I didn't even think about that part when I was presenting my side, that, yeah, we've all seen like mad cats who just was like, yo, I invested and made X amount. We all saw all the documents coming out about, hey, the U.S. has purchased this many vaccines from this company, this many pills from Merck to take the medicine instead of taking the shot, right? So if you get COVID today, you take Merck's pills for the 2 weeks, and we all have seen all of that data, and so got to include that in the data. And I think that is part that people don't want to talk about, right? Where it's like, yeah, I took the vaccine and I'm good. All right, cool, but and I'm happy for you if that's the choice you made. But a lot of cats didn't have a choice. And here's all these different accounts of people making a shit ton of money off of it. A shit ton of money off of you and me.
Right. Yeah. And I got one more thing to say too. In terms of that. What was really the wildest part to me, the wildest part was the people who caught COVID-19, right? Stayed there 2 weeks, beat it, have natural antibodies in their body now, right? Your body did what it's supposed to do. This foreign thing came in, I caught COVID. The body's like, I got you, son. Made the antibodies. You were sick for 2 weeks. You had the flu, but after 2 weeks, you was up and running. You were good. You have natural antibodies now. And they said, yeah, but take the shot anyway. What? Wait a minute, but I already have something that's better than the fake thing that you have.
Don't matter.
It don't matter. You're going to take this shot anyway. So I got to take the shot anyway, even though my body has already did what you're trying to do, meaning it has created a anti-COVID joint specifically designed for me and my DNA.
Yeah.
You're putting 150 strands of different human DNAs because you're trying to match everybody's DNA in the world. That could be that's what this doctor is saying. It's way too much, and that could overload your immune system.
Right.
But you caught COVID, your body developed its own antibodies specifically just for you, and now you're still making people take the vaccine? Okay. Now, I know This is some profit-driven joint because you don't even care about that person because that person is.
And they never did.
And they never did. And that's it. That was it for me. That was it, bro. You're gonna make somebody take it and they already had and beat COVID?
Right.
That's wild.
Because you never know what might happen the next time you catch it.
But that's what happened, though. But Jay, that's what happened.
I know I'll be an asshole.
No, but that's what happened. People who was good, they beat COVID. Then they took the vaccine. Then it was like, yo, this is my second time catching COVID. This is my third time catching COVID. You basically busted your own immune system. Your immune system says, son, I got you. And then you brought in mad foreign soldiers to try to defeat it. So it's like, I guess you won COVID then. Go ahead, take it. Because
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I built this whole fortress after you caught it the first time. We good. You ain't catching that no more. Then you went through that with a needle and brought all these foreigners in here. And now
migrants.
I can't create a defense system for each and every one of these mofos you just brought in. I'm sorry. Right. Now you got COVID. There you go.
Right. And the reality is you always were going to catch COVID. But the way your body reacted to COVID would have been different, right? Because the first time you caught it and were sick, your body built up, okay, now we know what this is. So when it comes next time, you might not get as sick.
Right.
But then when you bring in, like you said, you bring in those migrants, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You brought 145 different type of migrants up in here.
You know what I'm saying? You brought all these guys in here.
And you want me to build up a defense for all these niggas?
Now your body like, I don't know none of these dudes. Right. I don't know what to tell you. So what happened is next time you caught it, your body didn't have that same reaction. It might have had a worse reaction. And then let's not even get into the COVID they made it for versus all the strains that came after.
Son, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
77 booster shots later.
Okay, oh my God. It's like you have a body, you have a bodyguard, right? and somebody make it through to your home. One dude, your bodyguard's like, got that dude, ain't nothing. 2 people come in, I got nothing. 3, got him. And not only that, now I'm going to put a whole defense up. This time nobody can come in. You come along, take all the locks off, leave the door wide open. You put a sign in that says, whoever want to come in can come in. Now, 145 people come through the door. And you looking at your bodyguard like, you going to do something about this? No, son. No. I'm going to let these cats do what they want to do. Because you're wilding. I was trying to take care of you. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. It's like, what do you want your immune system to do, man? It's not, you're not Superman or something. It can handle a couple of things. In fact, your immune system is fighting enough stuff every day. You have no idea. Every day it's just like, no, get out of it. You know, no. You know what I mean? Every day, 2 or 3 things, 4 or 5 things, 10 things. But
you don't even know.
When you overload it with a bunch of different strands, and remember, you're going through the skin because your skin is your first layer of protection. So you already pierced through all those layers of skin, like mad layers of skin. And now you right into the blood system. It's like, yo, so you're just going to let everybody in through the back door. And what, now you want me to do something about it? Have COVID. Sorry. Have COVID. Just have COVID. And
when you say that, what you mean is have COVID symptoms.
Right. Yeah.
Because no, I just want to be clear, because remember, there was a lot of mix up where some people thought if I get the vaccine, I will never catch COVID again. And that was never the case.
No.
It was about the symptoms.
Right.
So I just want to be clear, when you're saying catch COVID or don't catch COVID, you're saying the symptoms.
In fact, I would go on to say, like, I always thought, I wonder if I ever caught COVID. And my body was just like, son, I got you. I told you I got you. You know what I mean? Like, because every time I took a test, it would be negative. But, you know, I'm out and about like everybody else. I'm around kids, around people who just, I just had COVID the other week. Why you didn't tell me that before? You're like, it was already in. But I've always wondered, you know, what did I ever catch COVID and just didn't know? Like, my body was just fighting it like it fights off everything else. It was like, son, I told you I got you. You know what I mean? Like, if I did, maybe it was a cold that I had one day, and it only took me 24 hours, and I didn't even realize it. Because after a while, remember, the tests were free, but then after a while, where I live at, then they wanted to charge cats for the test. So I was like, oh, so now I got to pay for it? Well, I guess I'll never know if I have COVID.
I guess I'll never know. I'm on my Trump shit. If I don't get tested, I never caught it.
I guess I'll never know. You charging cats for this snap? Okay.
If I never got tested, I never caught it.
Right. And they was wilding with the price too, because I went to the place and was just like, they was like, yeah, we're not doing any more free, but if you want it, it's 200 and oh, I feel great. I only came in, you know what I mean? I only came in to try to do what I thought was my responsibility as a citizen.
Right.
But you charging me $2 something for it? I feel great.
I feel good.
Let me hop back on my bike and go to the gym.
Right. Let me go get around some more germs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Anyway, man.
Hell.
But
all right. We having a lot of fun, but we do have a fun topic for y'all as well.
Yeah. You know, so once again, another segue, you know, speaking of the gym, you know what I mean? Our favorite place in terms of type of gym. Not me saying the gym is our favorite place, but our favorite gym to go to.
Right.
What I like to call Planet Thickness.
Right.
Because all the thick things up in there, everybody's all thick, but that's all right. You in the right place. You know what I mean? I don't mind you being thick and being in the right place. But I don't know if you noticed in the beginning of 2024.
I did. In fact, I spoke about it on my other.
Oh, okay. Show. That was cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we spoke about it on weeknights.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's absolutely great. But what I'm referring to, people who don't know, Planet Fitness joined up with your girl, Megan Stallion. And
Megan the Stallion. That's right.
See, Megan the Stallion.
No, because listen, her fans will see this and be like, "I say it the right way, motherfucker."
You got to say it the right way. You got to say the whole thing.
It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
You got to say the whole thing, no doubt. Right. No, that's what's up. I stand corrected. You know, Megan the Stallion. linked up 2024 Planet Fitness, this whole campaign. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
She's the new face of Planet Fitness.
Yeah, she's the new face of. I think it's actually pretty cool, funny. But I'm gonna play it real quick, and then we'll talk about it.
The landscape of fitness was bleak. Toxic instructors, shady scammers, and Bispo bakes. Mother Fitness was angry.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Hello, my hot girl. Enough of this toxic nastiness. So she took her hotties to the judgment-free zone. Welcome to Planet Fitness, where everybody can work out in their own way.
Listen to Mother Fitness and join today. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Where are my legs?
There it is. You know what I mean? Tell me how you feel about it. You know,
good old Meg.
Good old
I
Meg.
love it. I think it's great. You know, yeah, I love it. I said the same thing on weeknights. I think it's a dope situation. I think it's really cool. Hip hop is everywhere. I've been saying that for a few years now. Hip hop is the #1 genre. And so we're going to keep seeing stuff like this. You're going to keep seeing an Ice Spice with Dunkin' Donuts. You're going to keep seeing a Meg on Planet Fitness. A lot of this has to do with the business side of things and 360 deals. But the other side of it is that hip hop is everywhere. Now, let's keep it fun because this is our fun topic. It's interesting that this happened. And a few weeks later, because her and Nicki Minaj are dissing each other on records right now.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj says, Meg Thee Stallion got lipo and lied about it. So that makes this even more fun.
That does make it more fun. But I'll tell you why I like it, because I also love it too. I love it for maybe some different reasons. One, in terms of fitness, right? We know, like, when people think of fitness, the first thing they think of the gym. And then when they think of the gym, they think of like big bodybuilders and shit, right? And so for the longest time, that has turned women off. And when women did go to the gym, they just spent hours doing cardio and looked at the weights and all that as like, that's what the guys do, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that, yes, hip hop plays a whole lot of it, but also in terms of like this whole women empowerment thing. Especially with Black women, like there's a lot of Black women doing shit, and it's like to see Planet Fitness pick up Meg Thee Stallion and to have her just be like, "Yo, like I'm the goddess of fitness." That's what they're calling her, right? This goddess of fitness joint. But to have women be like comfortable in this place, because that's what the whole campaign is about. It's like, no, this is a place where you judgment free and you could be comfortable in here, and the whole gym is for y'all, you know, for everybody, you know what I mean? Like, and what they talked about in terms of the piece is like some of the toxicity that goes on in some of the gyms, you know, whether it's from men or women, it could be a toxic place. And so they're trying to let people know, here's a comfortable place, women, go to the gym, get it in. I think that's excellent. You know what I mean? I think that's an excellent message. And I love the fact that you got a young Black woman sort of delivering that message. You know what I'm saying?
I agree totally.
And, you know, whether I'll just speak on the whole lipo thing since you said it, whether she took lipo, don't tell. Listen, we have seen in the fitness industry, dudes hopped up on every steroid you can think of, promoting health. You know what I mean? Back to Arnold, right? Promoting health. But you don't say one thing about the steroids you've been on since you were 16 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at her for this. That's the game. You know what I mean? She got lipo for whatever reason. Well, we know what the reason is, but she got lipo. So what? She got lipo. Now she's looking good enough to get a deal with Planet Fitness. Hooray and happiness for her. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that at all. You know what I mean? But I think it's
that's the episode title.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, because listen, man. Back in the days, women did not go. When people like now, people like, yo, I met this girl in the gym. That didn't happen. When I was coming up, you didn't meet women in the gym. It was always dudes. And like I said, and women who were there stayed away from dudes. Like the heavy gym equipment was just gorillas. Just, you know, that's who was in there. They did not do anything in terms of strength training. But now, especially in Planet Fitness, like we said, we spend a lot of time in there. I see women all over the place. I'll never see, there's no machine that I'd be like, women don't go on this. Women go on every machine. And they seem pretty comfortable. Yeah, they seem pretty comfortable with every machine. And so Planet Fitness understanding that and picking this hip hop icon right now, you know what I'm saying? To be like, yo, we want you to be a goddess, not a queen of no shit, a goddess of fitness. And then they wrapped it in some humor. Thought it was absolutely excellent. And yo, I'm happy for it.
Yeah, no, me too. And some stuff I didn't know. I didn't know women were uncomfortable in the gym. I guess when I started going 10 or 11 years ago, it was a little different. But yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, people should be comfortable. And Planet Fitness knows that. That's been their thing since the beginning. And this only heightens that. And so if they're going to welcome more women to the gym, I think, one, that's a beautiful thing, a positive thing. And, why not? I'm cool with that too. Yeah. Just come and do the right things, everybody, women and men. Don't be, touch-a-sitis in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Don't do all the whack shit and leave all that toxic BS out of it, man. And you really could have a good time. And people make fun of Planet Fitness, but people make fun of Planet Fitness because it's inexpensive. And every time something's inexpensive, it's like it get laughed at. You know what I mean? It's like if you come with a pair of shoes, they could look nice. But if you're like, oh, I only spent $20 for these shoes. Those are bulls. Like for some reason in this country, like getting a good deal on something means it has less value. You know what I mean? I'm like,
because part of the game is consumerism. Part of capitalism is consumerism. So we gotta keep pushing this narrative of spending more gives you more quality, and that's not always true.
It's not. And in terms of like, well, I just want to get in shape, especially with most people. I'm not talking about you want to be a bodybuilder or you're trying to get into fitness magazines or something. I'm talking about most 90% of people just walking around and saying, I want to look better. I want to get in shape. You can do tons of stuff in Planet Fitness. I tell people that all the time. Like, yo, because if you put it just on paper, just these two things, okay, here's a gym membership that's $150 a month. Here's a gym membership that's $10 to $20 a month. Which one you want? You could get even one. People, I'll take the one that's $150. But you have no idea. But like you said, that's the consumer mindset where you feel like, yeah, if I spend more, I get more. And it's like, I don't know. Like, what are your needs? Are you going to use half that shit that's in that $150 gym? Probably not. In fact, I mean, you and I both got the black card from Planet Fitness. I don't use any of that black card stuff that I have access to. The massages, and I never use it. In fact,
the only thing I use is the guest pass.
The guest pass to bring. That's the only reason I got it, so I can bring people in who want to train. But my whole point is, you'll get that $150 gym and probably use none of the stuff that come with it. Right. You're going to use the basic stuff you probably could have been using in Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And if we're going equipment versus equipment, it's not that different.
It really isn't.
It's not that different.
Yeah. Some of the stuff in other gyms, because I'm a member of other gyms too. Yeah, I like some of the stuff in the other gym. But in terms of like, did I get a good workout? Sure, I get a great work. And when I'm training people and I'm going, meet me at Planet Fitness. Some of the snooty sort of clients are just like, Planet Fitness. Okay. Then I take them there and put them through a workout and they're like, oh, I feel this and I feel that. And I feel, it's not the equipment, bro. It's how you use it. You know what I mean? It's how you use it. You thought because you was part of this $150 membership gym where only the elites go in your community.
Right.
Yeah, but you're still overweight. So it don't matter.
Who cares?
Right. It don't matter. And so I really love this move with Megan Thee Stallion because it's like, yo, man, like it's a gym that's accessible that everybody can go to, and that partnership or whatever she's doing, is only thing it does is say, hey, women, especially Black women, here's a comfortable place for you. Rock out.
Right. And I'm always with that.
That's it.
On that note, we out of here. Thank you for being here. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun. We will see y'all real soon.
Peace.